Somebody famous once said that going to the past is like a different planet. It's completely different. And today we're going to look at how different it was from some of the resources we've got that were created at the time. Here's something for you excellence people out there. If something is created by people who were around at the time, you say that it was created by contemporaries, people who were around at the time. So you can have that word and see if you can use it today. You get some dojos if you use the word contemporaries. So we're going to look at some stuff done by contemporaries. We're going to try to work out what life was like from those resources, and you're going to use some key words to try to describe your opinion on what life was like in the medieval times and what you think life was like in the medieval times anyway. What can I teach you that you won't get from the images? Well, I can teach you that you wouldn't be able to understand anybody in the medieval period. If somebody travelled in time now, one of you went into the mystical, magical time machine, back to the medieval period, landed there and saw somebody, you say, start speaking to him, they'd look at you like, who's this person and what are they trying to say? Because language was changed over time. Language continues to change, but it was very, very different in the medieval period. Hey, it's so different. I mean, if you spoke to an ordinary person, ordinary peasant, they'd speak to you in what they would call English, but it was very different to what we would call English. However, if you bumped into a lord, a knight, even the king, somebody important, you definitely won't be able to understand them because they'd be speaking French. Because of the Norman invasion, 1066, all that business, for about 400 years after 1066, which is a long time, the powerful people in England spoke French rather than English as their first official language. So that's a bit of a bizarre one. What else have we got? We've got a huge gap between the wealthy, who own loads, compared to the peasants, who own next to nothing. They struggle to get by. You know, people in the medieval period, sometimes in bad years, starved to death. In good years, they had plenty of food to get by. You know? Also, that was a thing to know, is it was very different, your life, if you lived in a town compared to a village. Different way of life entirely. If you lived in a village out in the countryside, you were farming. If you lived in a town, your most important day was market day, when people from the surrounding places would come and sell their things, and you would be involved probably as well. Towns had a few more people living there, so it was a different way of living. And maybe a little bit unhealthier. A bit more unhealthy, should I say, compared to the villages, because there's more people crowded in, it's disease spread a bit quicker, but there's a little bit more money around in towns, so it's a little bit easier, perhaps, to get by in life if you live in a town. So there we go, there's life. You know, they didn't understand diseases, they didn't understand about germs, they struggled to get by sometimes. They were very religious, they were God-fearing, they thought life was very short, and then afterwards they would go to heaven or hell. Life expectancy, about 30. So I'd already be gone. That's sad, isn't it? Anyway, I'm here to teach you. So there we go.